Welcome to Baja California here in Mexico. I'm Kevin and this is Taylor, and we've been traveling all over the Baja Peninsula with our baby boy in our self-converted camper van. We've been getting a ton of questions about what it's like to travel with a baby, so in today's episode we share the truth about van life with a baby and what it's really like.
Good morning there, buddy boy.
Hi.
What time did little man wake up this morning? Did it work?
No. Mama's not happy.
We got some issues this morning. Mama's coffee maker isn't working, so she's not super thrilled.
Just not working with these new pods.
And little man woke up at, what time did he wake up?
5:30.
5:30, which actually is kind of normal. Sometimes he wakes up at like 6, but we have a beautiful sunrise.
Really?
It's terrific.
Wow, it is pretty. Are you watching the sunrise? I set this up every night before I go to bed so that in the morning I can just push it down, have my coffee, be happy for the day. This is really putting a wrench in my plan.
So Wyatt typically sleeps in his crib until 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then comes into bed for his morning feeding. Wyatt is breastfed, so he just jumps into the bed and gets his first breakfast meal.
It's not Mom's morning. We thought we solved the coffee issue. Put more water in the coffee pot, and then it just
You
filled.
put more in it?
Yeah.
That's why. All the water is in there. Why would you put more in?
Because I don't know.
So Taylor now has a super watered down that she just put right down the drain because
Terrible.
she thought it was a wise idea to put water in twice for 1 cup of coffee.
I don't need Dad's commentary this morning. No, I do not.
This is because of all the whale comments.
Last night we pulled up to this beach. It smelled like crap. Kevin opens the door and he's like, the smell of the ocean. Gosh, it smells so good. And I was like, ooh, it smells like crap out here. I hate this smell. Only for him to walk over to the beach near the ocean and there is a dead whale right on the water. That is that delicious smell of the ocean Daddy's talking about. All right, take 3. Crossing my fingers, the 3rd time's a charm. Aren't you, bud?
We call this the morning shift, which is usually a little bit more efficient with Taylor doing better with her coffee. But basically someone stays back in the bed area with Wyatt while he's playing and entertaining, while the other one tackles a job up front, whether it's converting the bed to crib mode or just getting breakfast ready for the day, something like that. So right now Mommy's working with Wyatt and I am trying to get these window covers up so we can get going on the road because we are going to the beach today, another very popular surf spot, one of our favorite spots in Baja. And we're hoping to camp out for like 3 days. So we're going to show you what it's like to drive in Baja with a baby and then show you what it's like to camp out for a while with a baby.
Wyatt, you have all these toys, young boy. I know, all these toys and you don't want any of them. He's gonna come up there and get ya.
Wyatt is 9.5 months, so he's crawling, standing, pulling, trying to walk, and he likes to get into our things, our cords especially. Even though he has all these toys,
He doesn't want
he
any
tends
of them.
to rush over to the electrical drawer, so we lay across the bed, barricade him in, and do our best to entertain him. You're a little monster.
The cutest monster ever. In his fall dino PJs. Here goes nothing. Oh, it's hot. Terrible.
What is
Tastes like,
vanilla milk?
yeah, I think I need to stir it or something. My God, that's bad. Sometimes when you buy things at the grocery store here, you win. Sometimes you lose. This is a loss. Thank you, Dada.
Definitely one thing that we really recommend for van life with a baby is to make things super accessible and really convenient. The more convenient it is for you, the better your experience will be. So we have diapers very handy in a drawer, ready to go, just within an arm's reach, and our wipes are usually right there. We already had them in the back from this morning's change, but Wyatt has his own dedicated cabinet right above his crib area, so he has all of his stuff right in here, super accessible, super convenient, and then we have the drawer underneath his bench as well. So everything is right here. Nothing is buried deep. Anything that you're gonna use a ton, make it really, really accessible. Come here, Bubba.
Mommy's gonna make the bed.
Time to play with Daddy.
Daddy.
Oh yeah, big boy. Let's go play up in the front.
The joys of making your bed after getting your sheets clean. It's like a workout. It's finally clean. Now, who's ready for breakfast?
All right, bud.
In lieu of Wyatt's high chair, we have this chair, which actually does pretty well, considering.
Are you ready for some food?
Yummy! It's food time. Peanuts and bananas. And a strawberry bar.
Here we go, big boy. Boom, 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 boom. Little chilly, little chilly.
Hands up.
So patiently waiting there, big boy.
Hands up. Mom, I don't have to put my hands up. Who's ready for their breakfast?
Ooh.
That's gonna be good. That's gonna be good. Yeah.
Go on.
Strawberry bar.
No special breakfast this morning. We are trying to get on the road, so we're trying to move quick. Otherwise, it might be Taylor's infamous avocado toast. Maybe tomorrow.
Good thing about being down here is the avocados are cheaper and there are so many.
How was breakfast? Little dirty? Yeah, really dirty. Yeah. We're gonna get into the truth about van life once we get to our destination, but here's a little teaser. It's very dirty.
Say bye-bye. You are a mess. We're gonna take you over the sink and wash your hands today. How can one little boy get so dirty? Oh, you're okay. Oh God, it's freaking everywhere. Daddy was letting you just have at those bananas.
We're gonna go see if this whale is still here before we depart. There's people standing here, so we'll see. Oh well. Oh well. Oh, let me fix your hat. There you go. Now you can see better. How's Mom?
Okay.
What's wrong?
I'm just tired.
Tired?
Just like over the cleaning. Alright, bud.
So Wyatt's been up for about 3 hours now, so basically we need to make the decision on whether or not we're going to drive or whether or not we're going to give him a nap. Since we're moving locations today, we're going to take advantage of this nap window, put him in the car seat. He should be able to fall asleep relatively quickly. This is kind of how life works. We kind of just drive around the nap windows.
The problem is though, we have to get water and we have to get gas. So sometimes if he falls asleep before we do either one of those, when we stop the car
Wyatt.
and open the doors to get out, he wakes up and then sometimes that ruins the whole nap window. Ready for your nap?
Almost lost the drone there. We were landing it to the left. Don't do that. Land it in front of you because the car just flew by us. And we literally lifted the drone up at the last second.
It was a close call. I was driving it, so it would have been all my fault.
This is the Eastern Cape, and although it's a rather dangerous road with steep cliffs, it offers some of the most beautiful views and the best beaches for campers here in Baja. Well, we took a little bit longer than expected. So little man is awake and we're on this dirt washboard road, so it's pretty loud. Sometimes that helps soothe him, helps make him fall asleep, but not right now.
Not right now.
Mommy's in the back trying to keep him entertained for the next 10 minutes that we have until we get there. Well, we made it to our spot, but we need to air down because we're going a little bit deeper. So time to release some air out of the tires.
Say, I was just playing on the slide. All right. Ready, 1, 2, 3. Slide, woo! Slide, woo! Slide, woo! Slide, woo! Slide. Oh, we found the camera.
Okay, so hopefully I aired down low enough to get into our spot. Should be fine, but we gotta back into it, so it's gonna be a little tricky. All right, let's see. Okay, we're deep. We're pretty good.
We're a little unlevel, so we're going to try to level out the van. Hopefully it works because we might be a little bit stuck. Ready? You're on them. Does it feel more level?
Yeah, this is perfect. If I go up a little bit more, I'll be good.
Well, those you're like on the very end.
Yeah, I'll go up a little bit.
Just don't fall off. Up, up.
Good?
Yeah,
That's perfect.
that's as good as you're gonna get. Unless you take them out and redo them.
And go treads for the win, baby.
Say good job, Dada.
We're home.
You said good job?
All right, we got a little bit of a bump out there. Very little.
Very little. Wyatt needs some sweatpants and some food. Mommy needs some food. Mommy needs a sweatshirt. I mean, it's winter. It's freezing.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it was a little bit warmer right now, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, the good news is it's not a harsh step up into the van.
We are low.
I don't think we've ever been this low before in our lives. We could push him in the swing and he'll be like at eye level. Right, bud?
All right, are we happy with this or not?
Yeah, I'm fine. Now that we're officially here, it's time for some leftovers. Pasta for Wyatt and I, because Daddy doesn't like it, and Daddy will have some chicken and some potatoes. But this is not the 9 Palms I remember. The 9 Palms I remember was warm, not so windy, and it was just beach days every day. Gotta get this guy in some pants. Lunch is officially ready now. Where are the boys? There they are. It's lunchtime. Hi, you ready for some lunchy? Dad?
Well, thank you very much, Mama. Mama Llama.
I'm a llama.
Wyatt and
Yeah,
it
you
just
can
breached.
see 'em. I wasn't really able to see them over there because the bug net was kind of in the way. So every time my eyes would like focus, they would focus on the bug net. But this window is nice other than Wyatt's handprints all over it. I had a great view.
What's a fin flap, Mommy?
Fin flap.
Yeah.
Whales.
Well, we were hoping to go over the truths about van life with a baby while he was napping, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
What's a nap, Dad?
So that would be the first truth. Throw your schedule right out the window. It's basically impossible to maintain a routine because things happen on the road. You get pulled over.
Nothing like crossing over into Mexico and having the first hour and a half be a complete disaster.
You can't cross a border the way you want to. What else? A lot. I don't know. Delays and delays. It's just, number one, toss your schedule right out the window.
In Wyatt's defense, a lot of things might be messing with his sleep schedule. He might be going through a 9-month sleep regression, which I was reading about, and he did take like a 2.5 hour nap this morning, which is longer than normal. Sometimes when we do get 2 naps, they're both like 30 to 45 minutes. So considering he took such a long nap this morning, he might just not be that tired.
We also never had a strict schedule to begin with too, though.
We have a schedule, but we follow how long he's been up rather than like at 9 o'clock he goes down for a nap, at 1 o'clock he goes down for a nap. We've never been people who are scheduled to an exact hour. It's more been based off of his wake windows. It is also very, very hard to get a routine in here because he's either sleeping in his crib or our bed or the car seat. So there's no real consistency, which I don't think is a bad thing, but at the same time, I think he's just kind of like, what the heck? Sometimes I play during this time. Sometimes you put me down.
There's no condition.
Like, yeah, where he's not conditioned to like be like, okay, it's bedtime.
The second truth about van life with a baby might seem obvious, but our consumption has increased. We obviously consume more water now, not because he's drinking it, but because we have to give him baths. We have to clean his bottles. We have to clean mama's pumps. So there's more that we're cleaning. There's more water that we're using, which means we have less time boondocking because water is the only resource that we can't reproduce out here. Well, I guess we can't make our own food too, but we can provision so much that we could last much longer than we can with our 36-gallon water tank. For Baja, we actually bought 2 5-gallon jugs and we fill them up too so we can expand our capacity an extra 10 gallons, which is, I think, a pretty good idea and something you might want to consider if you just want to boondock for a little bit longer. But yeah, so we consume more water and then we also have to clean more and do more laundry because little man likes to spit up sometimes, or you know, you have the occasional blowouts. At least we did when we did van life with a baby when he was 4 months old. Now that he's older, not so much.
You're trying to go for a little walk to get little man to sleep. Sometimes this helps get him down when he's just strapped to me and he can rest. But another reality of van life with a baby is that all of those fun coupley things you used to do in van life, like surfing or swimming in the ocean, or last time we were here we did Cabo sailing and we went to a nice dinner. Those things are now kind of out of the question because Wyatt can't go on boats yet, or we're not going to bring him on an ATV, or we're not going to bring him zip lining or anything like that. So those fun coupley things that you used to do when you went on vacation are kind of out of the question, which I mean is understandable when you have a child, so this is normal, but it's just one of those things that even like a walk on the beach, if he's napping, just the two of us, like we don't want to go far from the van, so we can't really even do that. So it's just hard to get that like one-on-one time that we used to have before him, or even when we're at home. So just another thing to remember. But I also don't take any of these little baby cuddles for granted because I know at 9 months they are soon probably going to be not as frequent. So I'm trying to soak up every little baby cuddle I can get from my boy. I love you. Kevin says that there's no urchins here, but I'm pretty sure these around here are all urchins. So I'll have to let him know that he should wear his booties in the water. It seems on this walk I've acquired another child. Meet Hugo.
Looks like you got a friend there.
My pet dog. Even Kevin sees it. I'm not sure where Hugo came from, but he's following me like he thinks I'm his mother. Alright, Buddy did not fall asleep. But third truth about van life with a baby is that driving far distances at this point is just a no-go. Kevin and I used to pretty much race around the country during our first stint at van life. We saw a lot and we had a blast, but we moved very, very quickly. And this time around, we're moving so much slower, which actually has been so nice. I think both of us really wanted to slow down, but also wanted to see so much that it was kind of like this conflicting thing. But now that we don't have a choice, because we don't obviously want to leave Wyatt in a car seat all day, it's been really nice. We've been able to enjoy more places and, you know, like really stay in a spot and just hang out more than we used to. It's a nice change of pace, which we are both completely welcoming.
This morning I talked about convenience when it comes to putting his wipes and diapers in convenient locations, but that comes doors right now. It is a complete wreck and it's all in shambles, so we have to make a sacrifice in order to do van life with the baby, to put our stuff buried away while we have his stuff nice and convenient.
I don't really know if that's not true. I mean, our stuff was kind of in the same areas before. We just have less stuff. We didn't bring as much for ourselves because we also have to bring Wyatt's stuff. But I mean, I haven't felt much of an issue with it yet. The only thing I'm missing is my closet. So jackets and stuff kind of take up a lot of space, but luckily we haven't really been in winter climates yet.
We could have potentially brought a stand-up paddleboard, a blow-up one, but we have no room for that whatsoever.
One thing we really try to prioritize with the little man is getting him outdoors when we live in the van. He's getting pretty eager to walk, and who knows, maybe in a month or two this guy will be running around all on his own.
Yay, Wyatt! Yay, Wyatt! Big boy! Who's a big boy? Did you have so much fun walking with Dada?
We walked far. We walked far. You like this, don't you? I gotta get in between your toes here.
Daddy, put in my feet.
It is now 5:40 at night and we're giving you a 3-for-1 special now. So the next truth is everything takes much longer than it did before when we were just the two of us, meaning it's 5:40 p.m. and we're starting to prepare for bedtime because we need to convert this whole area into his crib, and then we need to get his bottle ready, get him winding down, clean up the van. It just takes a lot of time, and just to get it ready for bed mode. One of the most important things to consider when it comes to bedtime is temperature control. So if it was just Taylor and I, we could just undo this curtain, fold it across, and then just go right to bed. We wouldn't have to do any conversion or anything. But since we want to maintain ideal temperature for him in here, we put our insulated window covers up in the front to help insulate it and control our temperature a little bit more, in addition to the curtain as well. So at nighttime here down in Baja, it gets pretty warm, so we need to drop the temperature at night, but not too much where we need to turn the heater on to balance it back out. We like to say around like 67 to 70 degrees, 71 degrees. So temperatures fluctuate pretty good in the van, especially if you leave a window open. It gets down to like 58 here at night. So you just got to be aware of the temperature all night long, kind of, which isn't the most fun. So this is his new crib setup. This is a little bit different from how we had it when he was 4 months old and we were in Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island up in Canada. Now that he's bigger, now that he's more mobile, now that he can crawl and roll and kind of pull himself up, we went with the railing system. I figured I was gonna make my own railing. I thought it was gonna be cheaper, and then when I bought all the material at Home Depot, I was like, this is gonna take so much time, and the cost of all the lumber was like easily 150 bucks. So I figured, why not just buy the most affordable option I could off Amazon. This thing was 125, maybe 140, and then I just modified it down to the exact size of this crib with piano hinges on it so it can fold and go right behind the seat, which I think turned out really, really good. And it's super sturdy. I wish I did make it a little bit taller for all you TikTok moms out there who's gonna give us a lot of hate for him pulling himself up and it's not the proper height, whatever. I hear ya. Didn't realize how big he was when I set this whole thing up.
Not to mention, we never leave him in the van by himself, so we're literally always like one step away. So if God forbid he ever does pull himself up, we're right there if he ever decides to try to hop over it, which hopefully he won't. Yeah.
He also sleeps in a sleep sack at night, so that restricts him a little bit, makes it a little bit more difficult for him to pull himself up too. We've never seen him done it yet, not saying he can't, but we haven't seen it. But yeah, so this is it.
Gentle with mommy.
I'm pretty proud of it, to be honest. One last thing about the crib before I move on. We wanted this van to be convertible for not just a baby, but for a larger human as well. So that's why we have this convertible crib. It's not a permanent fixture in the van. When we go to sell it years from now, we're reducing our market to a family of 3 with someone under 2 years old. That's going to be really difficult to sell. So having a convertible, flexible option, we can still appeal to the massive market out there for those interested in vans with a dinette in the front and a permanent fixed bed in the back.
Can you please pass me Dino PJs, sleep sack, diaper, and bow tie bag?
Sleep sack, dino bag, bow bag, diaper. Was this all of it?
That was all of it, thank you. We're getting ready for Betty Buys, Betty Buys.
Lastly, once we put Wyatt down, we kind of pack in for the night and we're no longer going out, we're no longer driving, obviously. So around 7, 8 o'clock, we're in the van for the remainder of the night because we don't want to be opening and shutting the doors. We've done that in the past a little bit, but we have to be really quiet and sneak in and out. But yeah, so this is just for us again. Every parent is probably doing things a little bit different, but from our standpoint, from our experience, once we put Wyatt down, we're kind of laying low.
Alright, so I'm praying this morning I have more success with my coffee than I did yesterday. Is that not the best sound in the morning? It's working.
What an amazing sunrise we had here. Unfortunately, there's not much waves right now. The tide is super high and there's basically not even a wave breaking. There's not even a surfer out in the water. Oh, there's one actually. But at least there's whales. As you look up over the horizon, you can just see a bunch of whales just breaching right out of the water. You can see some fins. It's pretty cool.
This one's pretty obvious and it comes with having a baby in general, but when we're on the road, obviously Wyatt's needs come first. So Kevin and I can go longer, obviously, without eating and going to the bathroom. However, when Wyatt needs to eat or when he needs to be changed or anything like that, we pretty much stop everything that we're doing and we take care of him first. So his needs are always met, whether we're supposed to be on the road or not. We will stop to feed him, change him, play with him, get him out of the car seat, whatever he needs. He gets, right bud?
But we know we signed up for it. Every parent has to do this. It's part of the job. But we just wanted to call it out and make you aware if you're not already. The 10th truth is that it's constantly changing. We mentioned before when we were in Canada, Wyatt was 4 months old, and that van life vibe or style was completely different because he wasn't crawling, he wasn't climbing, he was a lot less mobile. So it was a lot different than it is now, and he was only drinking breast milk at the time. So we had a lot less cleaning, and we didn't even do bottles then. But there was one big issue or dilemma that we constantly had to run into with him being 4 months, which was
Blowouts?
blowouts. I was seeing if you knew it.
He didn't have that many blowouts at that point. It was really before that, but he did have some.
But you had to be worried about him. Like.
Yeah.
So now he's eating solids, but that comes with more wash, so more water consumption, more clothes that you're going through because he's a terror when he eats and gets dirty. At least when daddy feeds him. When mommy feeds him, he's a little bit more clean. But we'll see. I'm imagining it's gonna get a little bit harder as we go until he's about 2 maybe. Or when he can start like kind of feeding himself, or I guess he can feed himself technically now, but.
I think until he's like can do more like independent play. So we can put him outside with like a bucket and he'll be right down there, but we won't have to really occupy him as much. He's not going to be putting things in his mouth as much.
Right.
He'll need a little less supervision. Obviously, he'll still need supervision. Don't hate me, the moms who are going to be like, you still need to watch your kid. I know, but he'll just need a little less supervision than he does right this minute. Yes.
So at the time of this video, Wyatt is about 9.5 months. So we'll see how it goes as he grows and continues to get more mobile. Lastly, although van life with a baby is much different than van life as just a couple, it's still amazing and we wouldn't change it for the world. Yes, you could say it's a little bit harder. Yes, there's more sacrifice, but the memories that we've made so far, even though he probably won't remember them, have been just incredible. And it's so nice to be able to see him witness new things and new experiences. The way that he reacts to different things is really, really cool. And I mean, obviously you can do that at home too, but it's just, I guess the point of this video is that van life with a baby is certainly doable. We're clearly a representation of that. But yeah, this is how we parent. I'm sure a lot of other people would do things a little bit differently than we do. There's no right or wrong way. I guess some people would have an opinion that there is, but any final words on the truth of van life with a baby?
No. I think the hardest part is when you're at home. I even fall victim to this. I get in a routine and I really like my routine at home with him. So it makes leaving kind of difficult. But then once you're in it, I mean, I really enjoy this with him as well. So I think it's just finding the balance, and if you want to do it, then you just gotta kind of jump into it, because if you don't, you can easily just get too comfortable and think that it's too hard or too much work.
Well, let us know your thoughts about van life with a baby, whether or not you guys can do it. And yeah, we're gonna enjoy our time here in Baja. Hopefully catch some waves if the waves come along or if the tide drops, but we're out. Adios, thanks for watching. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Can you wave? No.
Say bye-bye. I eat my shoes.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Good boy.
Good boy.